Hello, and welcome to the credits. Just kidding. It's actually taking a sweet time. It's actually The World Next Door. A fairly recent indie game made by Rose City Games. Featuring a lot of stuff that I'm going to go through very quickly. Get started here right on New Game. Since I have a save file, I have to remove it from the universe. But that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Starting off here, we have a cutscene that I can skip about the world of Emrys, which is kind of a parallel world to Earth. Every year, there's a festival in which one human from Earth and one monster, I guess you could call them, from Emrys, is allowed to go through the portal connecting the two for a day and be in the other worlds. And while Earth is more technology-based, Emrys is much more magic-based, which we're going to learn about soon as we meet our best friend, Liza. Since the two worlds are, like, connected through technology, like, you can talk on social media between the worlds, these two have been best friends for basically half a year. And she's gonna invite us somewhere, which is exciting. And we're gonna follow because we want to go say hi. And in meeting doing so, we're also going to see Rainy. Rainy is kind of a shy character, and very nervous, very scared, and also a child. My child, actually. It had to be said. But she's going to take us to a place called The Shrine, which is as vague and exciting as you can make it sound. As you might be able to tell, though, this game has a lot of elements where it's based in the cutscenes more than the actual gameplay. And you can slightly sway the, how the characters think of you based on just small emotional options in your dialogue. Not only just choosing what to say, but you can choose the kind of way you feel when you say it. So all the dialogue options have little, like, smiley faces or angry faces. It's very charming, is what this game is. Speaking of charming, we are meeting the exact opposite of Prince Charming. We have Horace here, who's very... I've not come up with the word to describe this guy yet. He's very rough about himself. He thinks he's a cool guy. He thinks he's hot stuff. I think he's a cool guy, so he gets points from me. So now we're just going to talk to everybody. To advance the story here, we just have to talk to everybody. Everybody has 3 text boxes. Okay, Horace is 2. I'm a big liar. Liza also has 2. Wow, 1 for 3. Thanks, Rainy. I can always count on you. But after talking to everybody, Cerise shows up. Cerise is the smart one, who is going to be very helpful later in the story. But the reason we're here in the shrine is actually we are going to be taught magic. We being June, of course, the human girl that you see. This one. So here's how the main gameplay section works. You can use magic with these runes on the ground. Like this. When there are 3 runes of the same type connected to each other, you can use that magic spell. You can also use a tether ability to connect runes together. And there are more than just the fireball. There is also lightning, ice slash, and There's going to be more as we get into actual battles. There's also dashing. We're going to be using dashing a lot. We don't have the ability to dash until we get that prompt, but now that we do have it, we're going to be using it whenever we can, really. Even on the overworld, it is allowed now, which is a kind of a weird system. You can't dash until you're taught to, but then you can dash literally everywhere, even when it doesn't seem fit, like in real life. And then this is a grievance, which is an Emrin, the inhabitants of Emrys, but not good things have happened. Too much exposure to raw magic has turned this Emrin into a monster, which I described the characters as earlier. They're sane. They're sane Emrins. These are not sane Emrins. So we're gonna do an actual battle here, where I'm gonna be trying to combo things a lot, not only in terms of having more than just 3 runes connected to something, but also I will get kind of a buff to an attack if I use a rune that is... I'm forgetting the word. Adjacent. That is adjacent to a different rune that I've just used. So if there's 2 magic spells set up right next to each other, and I use one, the one adjacent is gonna get, like, a damage boost. So there's a lot of thinking that goes into the combat just to try and deal extra damage, and as much as I want to abuse this as much as I can, sometimes my small brain just does not make that easy. Fortunately, a lot of these fights are actually laid out the same way at the start of the fights, so I just kind of have to work with whatever the fight wants to give me, which this fight's given me some pretty nice stuff. Because after the initial starting point, the magic that you'll get from certain parts of the floor is random. Cooperating with the floor is never good in any video game, but in this video game especially, you kind of have to do it. There are different enemy types. You can see the Grievance here focuses more on using magic more than this dinosaur guy that likes to get up close and physical with me, and is not doing a very good job doing that based on how much I'm just moving around. There is a heal spell, by the way. The green stuff heals me. And there's a huge fireball just sitting on the ground. I did not notice that fireball until I used the boost for it, which the boost for it probably killed, because I believe the adjacent boost doubles in the magic's attack power, so I was very lucky there. Which, there is a bunch of luck, as I've said a lot. And I picked up a weird sword, which I can use to open this door, where everybody's waiting for me. And there's gonna be a monster, a very big monster, that we are not gonna fight yet because it is very big and scary, and we want to get out of here. Because the portal is gonna close soon, the portal back to Earth, and we need to get back to Earth, because if a human cannot stay on Emrys too long, or else they'll die, because there's no sun. Emrys actually has a magic core. Same thing, vice versa. A human will die if, Emrin will die if on Earth for too long. Which is not good, because, as we're gonna see once the loading stops, the portal's closed. I chose that option because it has like 2 less text boxes, by the way. I don't do that very much because in many cases the first option is always the best option, but that's one of the cases that's not the case. And here everybody gets into an argument, kind of out of panic about the fact that I'm gonna die. But it's very late, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna sleep and group up tomorrow. To end each day, you have to go to a specific area where June says you want to go to sleep, and we're going to say yes to sleeping, because that's going to entail we're going to go to the next day. And usually it's the dorm room right here, but sometimes it's Sometimes it's... there's one point where it's a different screen, which is why I'm clarifying that now. But that's the end of day 1. There are 5 days we have to get through, by the way, and each of them are going to get progressively longer. At the beginning of the day, we can choose to get different dialogue by texting 3 different people. Based on how fast you can mash through texting in this game compared to the other dialogue, it's usually just best to mash the first 3 options, which are always going to be June, Horace, and Cerise, or rather, Liza, Horace, and Cerise. We're June. But starting off on day 2 here, we're still trying to figure out a plan. So, Liza is going to talk to us a little bit about how Cerise is in the middle of coming up with a plan. Again, she's the smart one. And Liza's just like, hey, get familiar with the area while we come up with a plan. You know, go to the market, talk to some people. So that's what we're gonna do. The thing you have to do to get Cerise to come up with her plan, and this is where you're supposed to, like, talk to every character and start side quests and stuff, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm just trying to focus on the main game. There's 2 characters we need to talk to, and there's both of them in the market. Horace, right here, who just talks about Kung Fu because he's tough. And then Lux and Vesper. Lux and Vesper are very important story characters. They're the gossip kids, I guess you could say. And after talking to them and Horace, we get the fact that Cerise finally has a plan for us. So, we're gonna head to the training yard, which means more loading screens. Unfortunately, I have a very bad PC, so playing the PC version of this for me is not very good. So I have the Switch version. If somebody had a good PC, they could probably have better loading times, but unfortunately, loading times are just a thing I have to sit through. And since this game has no in-game timer, I don't have a load remover right now for this game. But at the same time, I'm also still the only runner of this game, so I can time however the hell I want. Besides, it's not like in-game time matters for a real-time estimate. But Cerise got an hour of sleep. To come up with a plan. And the plan is that there are actually 4 shrines equidistant to where we are right now. So our plan right now is just to try and hit up another shrine. We don't want to go back to that first shrine because that really weird dog creature that we saw and ran away from. So instead, we're going to head to a different shrine this time. This shrine is the, very pretty shrine. And it's going to introduce us to a new mechanic of bringing party members with us. We can bring all our friends as party members with the shrines. It doesn't actually matter which choice we choose here. Liza and Horace will guaranteed come with us to this first shrine, and we can choose whether we want Rainy, Cerise, or neither of them, and have one stand watch outside of the shrine. We're going to use Horace, and Horace is by default joining us, so I don't care who joins us, but we technically have Cerise. Cerise might be a good backup if you need, like, a very large heal, but usually if I need a large heal, it's because I'm not paying attention and I'm going to die anyways, so. Yeah. In our phone, we now have the contacts button, which we can use. And then combined with these runes, when we put them in certain patterns, it can summon our friends. Horus is a huge fireball, and that is the best one in the game. At the beginning, Liza technically has more DPS, but with how battle arenas work in this game, the huge fireball is just more useful. So we're gonna get right into fights here. And that is because that's the gameplay of the game. And if I can, I like to try and get a Horus summon because Horus is very powerful, as you saw earlier. And I just got one to not only do that, but to also double damage that and then get this summon ready. You need to take 3 more damage. Thank you very much. So yeah, I'm just strategizing to get more damage, like, if I can. But of course, I don't want to, you know, waste time for it if it's not going to be worth it. Speaking of which, though, we have this enemy, which is very important to manage your runes against this enemy, because what this enemy does is they'll take out an entire type of rune temporarily with their main attack. So if I can get them out quicker than, say, the other grievance in the fight, it's more worth it, which I did a very good job with, fortunately. I want to get this ice right now. Thank you. And then a Horus Fireball. Oh, and you're standing on lightning right now, too. Okay, never mind. You're moving a lot. Just kill, please. Oh my god, can you hit the enemy? That's the thing. Scrolls, like, if an enemy moves, some of your spells will just not actually go for the enemy. They'll go for where the enemy started. So you have to, you know, hope that the enemy doesn't move out of the way. I can use this heal right now. One thing you need to do is if you don't have any good rune setups and no, at any point, not only do you have to move runes to get ready, but you can also just try and use some stuff to get rid of certain colors to, you know, have other colors. Yeah, but with the floor layout here, this one is rather difficult to do quickly. Okay, one of them's dead now, and at this point I shouldn't even need Horus like I was trying to get a summon for. I should just need that fireball right there. Perfectly done. I'm doing this fight now because I went this way, although I can't really do anything here yet, so I guess I just have to do this fight and see if I win it. I will have to do this fight later if I don't do it now, so it doesn't matter too much, but there is something I need from the right side that I forgot to get. Okay, one of the enemies here is already dead, and it's good because they're the more dangerous of the two enemies. And I'm not getting a lot of heals right now, except they're very scattery right now. I'm just gonna go for this hit with the Ice Blade, and it went for the dinosaur guy. I'm gonna get heal. Okay, right here. Oh my god, can I just get something to hit this person, this grievance? You. Oh my goodness, I'm getting horribly screwed by luck right now, and I'm not enjoying that. Okay, we're good with that enemy. Now we just have this guy who likes to get physical, so I'm not too worried about them, especially because they're almost dead, because of how many attacks I was trying to hit the grievance with, hitting that enemy. But no need to worry now, we're good. We're very low on health, but we have the key that I forgot to grab earlier, so nothing bad done here. And this fight's already dead, so hey, I can just walk straight into the next room with a healing well. I've never used healing wells yet in this run, but they're pretty helpful because they full heal you. And also, it's good because we get to do a boss fight now. Coming up is our first big boss. Against this enemy. This is a very annoying boss fight. Actually, every boss fight in this game is fairly difficult. for one reason or another that makes them hard to fight quickly. This one is a major offender. First off, it is a boss that stations itself in one portion of the room, so it is very rare that you actually get to put thunder spells to good use. Also, some spells slower, like these void spells, cannot hit if they're far away. And then this is the worst thing that can happen. So, in this attack right here, we can't use magic while this is going on. We're completely unable to attack during that whole sequence of darkness. It's good for if you need to set up spells, like now I have a spell right here I can use, a spell right here I can use, and a Horus that I'm trying to set up right now, but I'm getting kind of unlucky with it. Okay, bad button. And you just took away my transfer. There we go. Alright, I'm gonna call Horus in now. Again, Horus is really good at dealing damage, so I want to do that. That is a very powerful void, but it's probably not going to reach him. Yep, it died out before it even reached him. Again, the thing with voids in this fight, they're not very good. That one might be more useful. Okay. Another one of these attacks. I don't like the fact that this is happening right now. Can it stop happening right now? You can see these hands also just destroy you. So I need to be careful with their existence, otherwise I will get destroyed. But there we go, that's the fight. And at the end of a boss fight like that, our sword starts glowing, and we can use it to defeat the big monster. And when we do that, we get the magic of the shrine. And we get to leave, finally. So that's the end of the first shrine. First shrine, if you want to count that day one shrine. Although, if you want to piece something together here, you probably know why I'm not considering that shrine right now. But that's... We're gonna have a cutscene here where Horus is just like, it's cool that you used a sword.
Salutar.
But now we're going to sit at the portal and discuss about our findings at the shrine. Which is a very key scene, because it's not only going to introduce two characters more into the spotlight, but it's also going to introduce a major plot point of the game. But we found out that the marking of magic that we got from that one boss is actually glowing on the portal. So it seems our plan is working. If we go to all the shrines and get all the magic, we might be able to reopen the portal. And if you remember Lux and Vesper, who we talked to in the market at the beginning of the day, they're here now. They're spying on us. And they're gonna join our party. We're not gonna use them. Again, the only equip that matters to us is Horus, so it doesn't. I don't actually care about the fact that Lux and Vesper just joined, except for the fact that they're gonna give me dialogue now. So we have more dialogue to worry about. But there is one very important thing in that cutscene, and that is the mention of two characters. Around just a little bit before we came into Emrys, two people went or two Emrins technically, went missing. Those two being Paxton and Persimmon. That's going to become very important later. I'm not going to go into why right now, but trust me, it's very important. So now at the beginning of day 3, we're going to do more of that texting. Okay, that's a lot of text, Horace. Alright, but that's enough for one day. You get to text 3 characters at the beginning of the day, and at this point we have 6 characters to talk to. So, like, we don't get to get every dialogue. But, hey, that's still some dialogue right there. We're gonna go find Liza now.
Salutar.
Team. Macardius. Keitaru said. Venera.
Alright. So, Liza, we're going to have a cutscene. That's going to go into what was mentioned yesterday, at the end of the night, that I talked about briefly before starting day 3. And that is the deal with Paxton and Persimmon, which is kind of a thing that's driving a lot of characters right now.
New loss. New loss.
If you missed that text box, Persimmon and Liza are dating. And they started dating right before Persimmon went missing in particular. Which is kind of a sour point that Lux and Vesper mentioned last night to get her as pissed as she is. They also just generally don't like each other. But now with Liza's mood all patched up, we're ready to go to the next shrine.
Team. Oshanda. Hamu.
Oh, so yeah, as if there wasn't enough dialogue, there is now dialogue on the tramway now, which is great, because I love my arms a lot. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do with this text except for just mash through it. There's no button on it in the controller that we can do to speed up the text. We can pause the game, even, which I don't want to do. But you saw me do it, just to test out the buttons to prove my point. I pressed every button. All of them.
Team. Ashenda?
So now we get to bring a party of, like, what characters of the 3 we want to bring in. Or of the 6, we can bring 3 of them. The only one that matters is Horace. So we're just gonna mash, because the default 3 are gonna be, Liza, Horace, and Cerise. And if I keep a character with me that I had in a previous shrine, they stay in the same slot. So I don't have to re-summon, or re-equip Horace, rather. Now this fight is great, because as you can see, the starting position of this magic is just very lucky. And I'm gonna set this up for the double damage to kill right here, except that doesn't kill, because the Ice Slash is not very strong. I killed, though, that's the main point. And now we get introduced to one of these enemies, which are very physical enemies that slow you down if they hit you. So don't let them hit you. I don't want to let them hit me, even. Although, don't let them hit you when you play this game, which you very much should, by the way. I gotta plug the game. It's very good. Now, can you come over here? I'm gonna kill you with this. There you go. This is a very dangerous area, so even though I'm not that low on health, I am gonna take this healing well. That's gonna kill this guy right here, and that just leaves this Grievance alive to be very annoying stuff. I'm gonna get rid of that spell just to kind of get more stuff on the board, including Horus. You can see Horus has definitely improved. Or at least you would have seen if Horus actually hit. Thanks, game. But Horus's damage does increase as you go through the game, so it's not always going to be that same 50, otherwise it 100% would not be worth setting up Horus. I'm going to get a kill here with the slash. There you go, just like that. And I do have one more battle I want to deal with before I can get the key, and that is this one. There are a lot of very annoying enemies in this one, and I could die. So I want to be healed a lot, which is the green here. You are in a great position to just get owned, and so are you. We have the enemy that takes away runes, which, in combination with the enemies that are moving everywhere, that like the two biggest fans of moving around the battlefield obnoxiously, this fight is a very difficult one, and can be a part of the run where I actually die if I'm not being careful while looking at my health. Especially because all of the enemies are taking equal damage, so while they're all gonna die fairly soonish, they're all gonna die together, meaning they all live together, meaning they are a happy family, and also that they're all attacking me at the same time still. The last one alive being the dragon is great, because if you're careful with the dragon, it won't hurt you. And we get a key just for doing that fight. So as you can see, this is actually a run very based on your reaction to the scenario around you, which I'm sometimes better at than other times. Okay. I'm gonna take this big heal here, and then throw this on the ground. Having a little bit of problem maneuvering right now to get a Horus set up. But I do have a very big electric field on the ground, which is going to kill that guy, which is going to make my life a lot easier because he's been slowing the ground down. And this thing is in the way, so I can't summon Horus, but now I can summon Horus. I'm also very low on health. I don't want to be. I would also... You know what I would like, though? I would like Horus to actually aim correctly. Thanks. Again, a problem with enemies that like to move around the field a lot is that they like to dodge your attacks a lot, and I really need to heal right now. Okay, there's a lot of slashes on the ground. I can probably kill this guy soon. Yep, there you go. And now we just have this Grievance to deal with. Okay, they're staying away from me. So I'm going to set up Horus. And see if he hits. Seems to be stopping in place right there. Yes, thank you, Horus. Finally, doing what I want you to do. Gonna take this healing well because that was an iffy fight. Even though I'm doing pretty good at the end of the fight, we are coming up on a boss fight. And as we learned last Shrine, boss fights are fun and good. So this is the boss of the Fire Shrine. They're in the middle of the screen this time instead of the edge of it, which automatically makes this fight so much better than the previous one because it allows attacks from every range to be useful here. Even electricity is more useful because you have more places to use it from. Void can be useful from any part of the battlefield. It's just generally a better fight because of where his position is, but it's definitely still a challenge. With not a lot of good places to set up for us, unless I want to move this setup down a little bit and save it for later. This guy likes to replace a lot of stuff with fire. Not only the fact that he uses a lot of fire, but straight up, as you see in this attack, he's going to put a lot of fire runes on the ground, which is great for dealing a lot of damage, but also can be bad if you're trying to set something up like this heal right here. It's now on fire. Or, yeah, like right here, he just turned all my stuff into fire, and it's not very usable. So I do have the void set up here, and now an electric floor set up that I don't think will actually do anything for me. This will do stuff, and this will do stuff. I don't know if this will be enough to kill. It will! That was a really good boss fight. So that is the end of the second shrine. We have our second bit of magic. And Horace is feeling weird. That's important. Well, let's not worry about it too much. Let's just worry about the task at hand. We're going to have dialogue on the tram. And Lux and Liza are going to apologize to each other, which is like... But yeah, that's the end of day 3, almost. We're just going to have a small cutscene where we're going to congregate at the portal. Like we always do. You know, for old time's sake. Except it's not that old. It's only day 3. You know, we're talking about being on the right track and everything.
Salutar.
There is something important about this cutscene, though, and that is we learn that police know that there is a human on Emrys. So... we have to kind of keep our cover now. This isn't gonna anything that's gonna come into the gameplay at all, but it's part of the story, which is the major focus of this game. We're gonna start off our texting sequence of day 4. Please leave the phone. Teens these days on their phones right now. I'm subtweeting myself. Day 4 is fairly simplistic in the fact that we kind of just know our plan and there's no immediate threat. So, I'm going to be going to the shrine here ASAP. Yeah, that very short cutscene, and we're right on the tram to shrine number 3. I know my numbers.
team.
Vamia?
This shrine is a spooky one. Originally inhabited by people into some pretty dark stuff, as Cerise puts it. Probably some rituals. I don't know this, but probably some rituals. Because when do rituals not get involved? For this shrine, we do get 4 party members and 3 equip slots. I never actually use any equip slots, although some of them could probably be useful if I took the time to set them up just to not do damage, which no. So we're going to add Rainy, because he's next in the menu after Cerise. How it be? Now, this shrine is very twisty. As you could probably tell from the fact that, you know, it's kind of ritual-based. It's going to be kind of haunted and scary to go through. Not only in the enemies, but in the enemies. The main thing is this new enemy right here, which can use runes. Not only use runes, use yours. If you have runes set up, congratulations, this guy just took it. Especially with the heals. I noticed there was a heal there, but didn't end up taking it. If you leave open heals out on the ground, this enemy can take them and heal themselves. Also, they can use, like, 2 runes, which is totally cheating. We have to stack them up into 3. So the goal, obviously, we want to heal a lot, which is good, but at the same time, that can distract us from setup of other attacks, which is not good because we want to be attacking. Okay, take that from me. Why not? I can kill with this fireball, though, so... never mind. That's 1 HP right there. That's great. Now they're gonna die. See ya. Yeah, this enemy just makes everything worse in my life. Fortunately, this shrine's not too bad. Hey, it's my 2 least favorite enemies in the whole game. How's it doing? I think that person just took heal. Thanks for taking my fireball, too. Grievances don't take your heal, they just take your soul away. You just took my ice. You are the worst. I'm gonna take this heal, though. Okay, that's good. I'm debating going for a Horus setup on this fight. Let's lure the enemy over here, get some of that lightning going, and then you're gonna steal my heal that I'm trying to set up so that you don't steal it. How funny. Yeah, we're gonna get Horus in here. Hi, Horus. Yes, deal great damage to that enemy stealing my stuff. And then they're gonna steal a large void. But it's okay, because they're almost dead now. They just need to go up. There we go, dead. The Grievance is still alive, but the Grievance is not as big an issue as that jerk. So I'm not too concerned. Especially because the Grievance is already dead. That Grievance was being very nice to me in its position. I'm halfway down on health. I'm going to take a healing well. What's good about this enemy and this other enemy paired up is that they can disable runes not only for me, but for the other enemy. So I do like to keep them alive longer. Unfortunately, a lot of my attacks ended up targeting not that enemy, so they stayed alive. This enemy's going to be staying alive for a lot longer than the enemy that takes away runes, so I'm going to get messed with a lot. So I do have to be careful. I do have a very easy Horus setup here, though. They keep icing me. Stop icing me. Okay. You were so close to just, like, being nice, and then you just weren't. Take that. And that. And that. And this. And this. And you're gonna die now. Never mind, you're gonna move. And you're gonna die now? No? Please just die now. Come down here. We have lightning. This is gonna kill. Alright, cool. Fights in this area are annoying, I tell you. I'm gonna heal again because I'm still being bad at the game. And I don't want to do that. Here we don't have one of the rune-stealing enemies, so my life is going to be made a little easier in this fight compared to the others. Not too much easier, but just a little. Which is great. Gonna lure those guys over here, do that. Visual strategizing just makes my life easier. Or not visual, what? I guess oral is the right word. Thinking out loud is good for me. As someone who likes to speak about things. So, it just makes the run easier for me when I'm talking out loud about what I should do. This enemy should die soon, maybe to this fireball. There we go, just like that. And... Alright. You're in a lot of positions at once. And I want you to be in this position right now. I'm going to try and just get Horus at this point, because with this setup right now, maybe if you move downwards I can snag some lightning damage, but you decided to just not do that. So yeah, let's get Horus in here, because I really don't have much better of a strategy. That was a great Horus. You're moving a lot. I want this enemy to stop moving a lot so I can kill them, but they're not letting me kill them. So I'm going to take this heal. Come on, move up here. Okay, I have an Ice Slash ready. Thank you. Yeah, that enemy. Stop moving, please. And now we have two enemies. The Grievance in this one is actually trapped in place, so it becomes a lot easier to target spells because they can't move that much. The Rune Stealer, though, can just move everywhere. And I also can't access the runes that might be sitting on the Grievance's perch, so not useful. Dealing a lot of good damage right now to the Rune Stealer, and then they're going to steal my fire, because of course. They tend to die on this fight a lot sooner, because I'm in range of them at more times. But the Grievance does take some damage every now and then. And I'm going to move stuff over here, because you can only use Horus on this part of the map in this fight. But they are completely, standstill, so free Horus damage. And free just about everything damage, which is great, again. I could probably just kill with a Void, which I can move down here. There we go. And now I'm going to get the key of the shrine. And that's actually going to be it for the battles. To the right of the screen that I'm on right now is the battle. And then to the right of the battle screen is going to be a healing well with the boss behind it. I'm actually going to skip the healing well. I'm feeling risky. I'm going to disagree with what I just said and not feel risky and take the healing well, even though I'm still at 200. Because this boss is something. And by something, I mean this boss is a cheater. Because they summon a rune sealer immediately to steal my runes. That's just rude. You also get slowed down a lot when you take damage, and you also have the runes on the ground changed all the time by this guy. He swaps the entirety of a type of rune with another, and that's mean. Because of the way the targeting works in this game, you tend to see the Rune Stealer die before the actual boss. So I can't answer the question of if you have to even kill this Rune Stealer, but it's good to have him dead because they're a Rune Stealer, and I hate the Rune Stealers in this game a lot. And I'm taking a lot of damage right now. That's not good. Although so is the boss. The boss is going down a lot right now. And there is a lot of horror space here, especially with the game giving me a horror setup right here. Let's see what happens. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no. So killing the boss, while the Rune Stealer is still alive, will instantly kill the Rune Stealer, it looks like. Figuring stuff out live. Live. This is a recording. And a simulation. This whole world's a simulation. And Horace is still in pain. Okay. This is going to be more bad news. The cops are going to arrest people. And by people, I mean Lux and Vesper. So we're gonna panic again. So that's what you do as a teenager. And I think these guys are technically all teenagers. I don't know. I mean, they seem to be in what is Emrin High School. So I'm assuming they're the teenagers. It probably says in the comic. Oh yeah, there's like a prelude to this game that you can download for free on Steam when you buy the game. I don't even know if you have to buy the game. But if you were at certain events, you could get said prelude comic for free by playing the demo. So I can answer that question. Also, we just have to talk to any 3 of these 4 characters and the game will let us sleep. I choose to skip talking to Cerise because Cerise likes to talk. And then that's the end of the day. We're going to go to bed here and get ready for tomorrow, which is going to be the last day of the game. Okay, prelude comic. I have the physical copy, as I mentioned. There is a physical copy. Let's see. Home from something. I don't think it says the age. But hey, it's the last day of the game. So we're almost done here. Got about a bit more than 10 minutes. Lux and Vesper are back. Every character, the 2 characters that you don't bring with you into that shrine, on day 4, they get arrested and then come back the next day. And they get out of it scot-free somehow. I usually play with Lux and Vesper getting arrested, and Lux is good to get arrested because she is studying law. So she knows the law, and she doesn't have to speak because of the law. But Liza, Cerise, and Lux are here at the portal. And explains that we have to hit that first shrine with that very creepy dog thing. Again. But if we do that, we can get home. And that's what we want to do. But before that, we have a very long cutscene. Story time. So in the story of this game, right now, you know what's happening? Liza admits that it was a plan. She, after Paxton and Persimmon were taken, was contacted by people she doesn't know and told that they would be released if we were purposely kept on Emrys past The time of the portal.
Guitar set. Salutar. Bomnium. Venera.
And this is a little bit slower to choose this dialogue option, but I just hate... Actually, that amount of text boxes might be faster. Speed strats. I just don't like making Liza upset at me because Liza's a good character. So, at the end of that cutscene, I like to choose... yes. You're my friend. But, now we're ready to enter the shrine. The last shrine being the one we entered on day 1, where we learned all our magic.
Nilas.
Salutar. Guitarus.
Recusable.
Carty. Venera.
Lux and Cerise came early, by the way, to the shrine. To kind of scout out. Make sure we were all good.
Oshenda.
And we are all good, so... we get to go through the shrine one more time. Considering it's meant to be both the first and last area, it is actually pretty short as a final area. So we just have to get through the battles, and it's going to be over before you even know it. Or at least we're going to be at the boss before you even know it. The boss is going to be a different story here. There are no rune stealers in this area anymore. Those are exclusive to the previous shrine, so we're done with them. We just have to deal with the enemies that we're facing right now, which are fairly simple, just the grievances. Horus pops off in this area, as you can see the amount of damage I just did. And even when something happens just before the boss fight, he'll still be usable for just a huge amount of damage, and it's going to be extremely worth it. What a good fight as long as you stay dead. You did not stay dead, but now you are going to. Yeah, no, just right up here we get to the boss fight. We have a cutscene. Horus is turning into a grievance, which is why he's not been feeling good all game. Depending on what you do in terms of your magic usage and who you bring into what shrines, the character that can become a grievance changes. Like, for example, in my first playthrough, I had Vesper turning into a grievance. Liza is getting upset about life.
Bomnium.
And here's that dog. This dog is a very difficult boss fight, so I'm going to start with a big boy heal, and then immediately getting messed with. This dog just has about every bad thing you could ever want to happen in one boss fight. It makes you move slow, it likes to take away all your runes, it lets you not dash for a little while if you get hit, it does a lot of damage. This boss is a nightmare, simply put. And I'm not ready for it. I'm never ready for this boss, but you have to fight him. It's the end of the run. I mean, we're almost done, too. Like, this boss is, like, the last fight in the game. So this is the final boss. Yeah, as you can see, I'm trying to set up Horus, and he's just, like, ruining my setup right now. But I have a setup now. Right here. Once I swap the right tiles, which is hard to do, because I'm trying to move quickly. We're good, though. And not only did that Horus hit, but I have a big Void right here, and a heal, and a big Void, and a Thunder, and an Ice, and another big heal. And a big Void-ish that I messed the setup for. Thanks, game. Yeah, he also resets the runes when he does the jump like that, so if you're setting up something and he jumps over it, better luck next time. Just like that. You see, I don't have runes over there to summon Horus, but I do have fire. Oh boy, do I have fire. And a big Thunder. That was a really good fight. At the end of that fight, once he's low on health, he'll eventually just jump over to that side of the screen and wait for you to hit him. But if you take too long, he'll get more health back. So that was a very good fight because I was consistently dealing damage even into the ending.
Get daughter set. Salutar.
So now we're very close to the end. I just have to go through the final cutscene.
Mocartius?
Kitaru set?
Reclusive.
Routine.
Hamul. Skvenium.
Salutar.
Bomium.
Gonna forgive Liza, because again, I don't like making her mad.
Get daughter set.
It might waste a little time, but I don't like her being upset.
Inara.
Besides, I saved enough time on that split. I'm still gonna be ahead. So yeah, now we have one last cutscene. We've gone to every shrine, we've gotten every magic. We're back at the portal. Well, at least we're going to be once this loading screen ends. Hey, look, the loading screen ended.
Oshenda.
And
Evutim.
Salutar. De la cum. Get daughter set.
bring the sword up to the portal and cut it, and the portal back to Earth will open. And then we just have to finish these inputs. Horus is going to say thanks because we saved his butt from being a grievance, and also he's cool.
Pamul. Oshenda.
And we're going to leave with a pun.
Bomium.
Kitaru said.
And they're going to take a selfie. Time's going to be on the last text box, which is when she counts to 3 on the selfie. Which is right there. And there we go. That's the world next door. Done in just over an hour. Very story-centric, but I think it still has enough fun stuff in the run to make it worth not only playing, but showing off. Maybe as a more chill game. I have some weird availability based on some of these games if you want to put them at different times, but because it's going to be over the summer, so I have all the time in the world. But thank you for watching, and I hope you have speed. That's good to have. Not like the drug, but like going fast is good.